The Yaltari Zara or Memoirs of Zairi. This text was taken from the Sacred Books and Early Literature of the East, Volume 7, Ancient Persia, ed. Charles F. Horn, Ph.D., copyright. Scanned from a photocopy, proofread, and marked up by Chris Weimer in February. It was paired in the book with another historical romance, the Karn and the Taxra or records of our Taxra located at Avesta.org. All footnotes have been embedded into the text within braces and in a smaller font that is. I no longer have access to the book that I scanned them from, so I am not certain of the translator, but the following is from Horn's introduction. The Yaltari Zara purports to tell of the old religious wars of Zoroaster's time, and recounts the heroic deeds of a champion named Zarir, whom Firdausi also mentions, but who is otherwise unknown. Doubtless this very Yatra or some older version of it was among the sources to which the poet Firdausi appealed in writing his Shah name. Indeed, the Parsi translator of the Yatra tells us that the Yaltari Zara or Memoirs of Zairi. This text was taken from the Sacred Books and Early Literature of the East, Volume 7, Ancient Persia, ed. Charles F. Horn, Ph.D., copyright. Scanned from a photocopy, proofread, and marked up by Chris Weimer in February. It was paired in the book with another historical romance, the Karn and the Taxra or records of our Taxra located at Avesta.org. All footnotes have been embedded into the text within braces and in a smaller font that is. I no longer have access to the book that I scanned them from, so I am not certain of the translator, but the following is from Horn's introduction. The Yaltari Zara purports to tell of the old religious wars of Zoroaster's time, and recounts the heroic deeds of a champion named Zarir, whom Firdausi also mentions, but who is otherwise unknown. Doubtless this very Yatra or some older version of it was among the sources to which the poet Firdausi appealed in writing his Shah name. Indeed, the Parsi translator of the Yatra tells us that the very words of the Shah name often echo those of the ancient Parsi tale. In the name of the Creator Aharmas, by the name of the Creator Aharmas, and by the good omen of good creation, may there be good health and long life to all men, good and righteous workers, and especially to him for whom this book is written. This book, which is called the Yaltari Zara, was written at that time when King Vishtas with his sons and brothers, family chiefs, and equals accepted from Aharmas this holy religion of the Mazdalyassians. Then Arjas, the king of the Kinas, had the startling news that King Vishtas had, with his sons, brothers, and family chiefs and equals, accepted from Aharmas this holy religion of the Mazdalyassians. Thereby he was much distressed. He sent forward to the country of Iran, Bairuch the sorcerer, and Mount Basuk-Hazar, with 2 myriads of chosen soldiers of good horsemanship. Then Jamaz, the leader of the leading men, immediately entered and said to King Vishtas, from Arjas, the king of the Kinas, have come 2 messengers, than whom there is nobody more handsome in the whole country of the Kinas. One of them is Bairuch, and the other Mount Basuk-Hazar. They have with them 2 myriads of chosen troops. They hold a letter in their hands and say, let us go in before King Vishtas. King Vishtas said, allow them to come in before me. Then they went in and paid homage to King Vishtas and gave the letter. Abraham, the chief of the scribes, got up on his feet and read the letter aloud. And in the letter it was thus written, I have heard that your majesty has accepted from Aharmas the pure Mazdalyassian religion. If you will not think of it, great harm and unhappiness may result to us from that religion. But if it please your majesty, and you give up this pure religion, and be of the same religion with us, then we will pay homage to you as a king, and then we will give you, from year to year, plenty of gold, plenty of silver, and plenty of good horses and the sovereignty of many places. But if you will not give up this religion and will not be of the same religion with us, then we will come to attack you. We will eat the green corn of your country and burn the dry, and we will capture the quadrupeds and the bipeds of your country, and we will order you to be placed in heavy chains and distress. Then when King Vishtas heard these words he was much afflicted. Afterward, when that brave commander of the army, the hero Zarir, saw that King Vishtas was terrified, he at once went in before him. He said to King Vishtas, if it please your majesty, I will dictate a reply to this letter. King Vishtas ordered, make a reply to the letter. And that brave commander of the army, the hero Zarir, thus dictated a reply to the letter. Greetings from King Vishtas, the king of Iran, to Arjas, the king of the Kinas. Firstly, we will not give up this holy religion and will not be of the same religion with you. We have accepted this holy religion from Aharmas, and we will not give it up, and we will drink next month the drink of immortality, that is, by the end of next month we will be perfect Zoroastrians. Without you. There in the field of Hutpashai and in Merv of Zardasht, where there are neither high mountains nor deep caverns, on open plains or deserts, horses and footmen will solve the question of our difference. You come from there, so that we may proceed from here and you see us and we will see you. We will march against each other and stand face to face to fight. Then we will show you how the demons are beaten at the hands of angels. Abraham, the chief of the scribes, finished the letter, and Vindarch the sorcerer, and Mount Basuk-Hazar received it and made salutations to King Vishtas and went away. Then King Vishtas gave an order to his brother Zarir to order a fire to be kindled on a lofty hill and high mountains. Inform the city and inform our good troops that with the exception of the priests who consecrate water and the fire temples and take care of them as their servants, nobody, from the age of to the age of, should stay in his house. They must act in this way that they should come to the court of King Vishtas within 2 months. If they will not come within 2 months, then when they do come they need not bring the gallows with them. We will order them to be put to gallows there in their own country. Then this news reached all men of the fine cavalry. They came to the court of King Vishtas with their brave soldiers. They blew their trumpets, played upon their flutes, and sounded their drums. They formed themselves into a riding caravan. The elephant keepers went with their elephants, the keepers of the beasts of burden went with their beasts, and the carriage drivers went with their carriages. In the cavalcade there were many spears of heroes like Rustum, many quivers full of arrows, and many beautiful coats of mail, and many coats of mail with four folds. The caravan of the country of Iran was such that its din went up to heavens and the noise of the moving swords went up to hell. On the road where they passed they dug up the way so much that owing to the dust the river stopped from flowing with its water to such an extent that it was not possible to drink the water for 1 month. For 50 days it was not clear, and birds did not find any resting place, except when they sat on the heads of horses, on the points of spears, or on a mountain with lofty summit. Owing to the dust and smoke, night and day could not be distinguished. Then King Vishtas gave an order to his brother Zarir that said, prepare camp so that Iran all the marching Iranians may encamp, so that we may know whether it is night or day. 3. Then Zarir came out of the road of march and pitched a camp, and the Iranians went to camp, and the dust clouds settled down. Then the stars and the moon appeared clear in the heavens. Afterward iron pegs were struck, with which asses were tied. On the two sides of every ass were golden bells. Then Vishtas sat on the king throne and called before him his minister Jamast, the foreteller, and said, I know that you, Jamast, are wise and foreseen and versed in knowing the stars. Thou knowest this also, that when it rains for 10 days, how many drops fall over the earth and how many drops fall over drops. Thou knowest also which trees will bloom, which will bloom during the time of the day, and which during that of night, and which at noontime. Thou also knowest which breeze contains moisture and which does not contain it. Thou also knowest this, that in the constellation of the dragon the month or the moon will be in such a way. Then tell me in the battle of Vishtas which of my sons and brothers will live and which will die? Jamast Baltash said, I wish I was not born from my mother, or that if I was born I had, through my luck, died a long time before, or that I had met with an accident and had fallen into the sea, so that your majesty would not have asked me this question. But since you have asked me I do not like that I may say anything but the truth. If it please your majesty, your dagger may take my life. So take an oath by the name of the glory of Ahurmuzd, the Mazda-Yasnian religion, and the life of your brother Zarir rub 3 times for Javask your sharp and shining sword and arrow made of the jawbone, and say, I will not strike you, I will not kill you, I will not place you in the position of defending yourself with a shield, so that speak out what will be the result of the battle of Vishtas. Then King Vishtas said, I swear by the name of the glory of Ahurmuzd, the Mazda-Yasnian religion, and the life of my brother Zarir, that I will not strike you, I will not kill you, and also I will not place you in the position of defending yourself with a shield. Then Jamast Baltash said, if it please your majesty, you may order this large army of the country of Iran to stay at the distance of a quick arrow shot from the priest of the king. 4. Then King Vishtas ordered that the large army of the country of Iran should stay at the distance of a swift arrow shot from the exalted priest of Vishtas. Then Jamast Baltash said, fortunate is he who is not born of his mother, or if born dies immediately, or to whom the measure of long duration has not reached. In a month's time, when brave men will fight with brave men, and heroes with heroes, many sons with mothers will be without fathers, and many fathers will be without sons, and many brothers will be without brothers, and many wives with husbands will be without husbands. Many Iranian horsemen would come who would walk in toward the camp of the enemy happy and pompously. They would like to shed the blood of the king of Chinas, but they would not find it. Fortunate is that man who does not see the following persons: the magician Birush, when he comes and excites the battle and works destruction and kills the brave commander Zarir who is your brother, and snatches away from him his horse, the black iron-hoofed horse of Zarir. And that Nantbasif Hazar who comes and excites the battle and works destruction and kills that Pakaz Rab who is a righteous man among the Mazda-Yasnians and who is your brother, and snatches away from him his horse also, the horse with golden handle. And that Nantbasif Hazar who comes and excites the battle and works destruction and kills that Farshavard who is your son and who, since he was born, lives in the district of the fortress of Kaba, and who is dearer to you than your other children. Out of your sons and brothers 23 will be killed. Then when King Vishtas heard these words, he fell down upon the ground from his exalted throne. He took a knife in his left hand and a sword in his right hand and caught hold of Jamast tightly and said, You magician, deceitful slave. You are not right, since your mother was a sorceress and your father a liar. If I had not taken an oath by the name of the glory of God and the religion of the Mazda-Yasnians and the life of my brother Zarir, these words would not have been spoken by you. Then I would have cut your head with these 2 weapons, the sword and the knife, and thrown it upon the ground. Then Jamast said, May it please your majesty, get up from the ground and sit again on the king throne, because what I have predicted to happen shall happen at the time when it should happen. King Vishtas did not get up and did not look up again. 5. Then the brave general, powerful Zarir, came and said, May it please your majesty, get up from the ground and sit again on the king throne, because in a month I will go and kill 15 myriad hyenas with my own strength. King Vishtas did not get up and did not look up again. Then Paklishro, the righteous man among the Mazda-Yasnians, came and said, May it please your majesty, get up from the ground and sit again on the king throne, because in a month's time I will go and kill 14 myriad hyenas with my own strength. King Vishtas did not get up and did not look up again. Then Farshavard, the son of King Vishtas, came and said, May it please your majesty, get up from the ground and sit again on the king throne, because in a month's time I will go and kill 13 myriad hyenas with my own strength. King Vishtas did not get up and did not look up again. Then the hero, the powerful Spendadad, went and said, May it please your majesty, get up from the ground and sit again on the king throne, because in a month's time I will go, and I swear by the name of the glory of Ahurmuzd, the Mazda-Yasnian religion, and the life of your majesty that I will not let any Kina go alive from that battle. At last King Vishtas got up and sat again on the king throne and called Jamast Baltash before him and said, If it is to happen in the way which you have said, then I would order a fortress to be made of copper, and I would order the railings of the gates of that fortress to be made of iron, and I would order my sons and brothers and family chiefs to go and remain in that fortress. Then it is possible that they will not fall into the hands of the enemy. Jamast Baltash said, If you will order a fort to be made of copper, and if you will also order the railings of the gate to be made of iron, and if you, King Vishtas, will order your sons and brothers and the family chiefs of your happy country to remain in that fort, then how will you be able to keep off from your country so many of those enemies? How will that brave general, strong Zarir, your brother, go and kill 15 myriad hyenas? And how will that Paklishro, the righteous among the Mazda-Yasnians, go and kill 14 myriad hyenas? And how will Farshavard, thy son, go and kill 13 myriad hyenas? King Vishtas said, Now how many hyenas will come at first, and, when they have once come, how many will die and how many will return? 6. Jamas Baltash said, 131 myriad hyenas will come at first, and when they have once come nobody will return alive except one who is Arjas, the king of the hyenas. The hero Spendadad will catch him also. He will cut his one hand, one leg, and one ear. He will burn his one eye with fire, and he will send him off back to his country on an ass whose tail is cut, and will say, go and tell your countrymen what you have seen from my hand. Then King Kavishtask said, although the sons and brothers and family chiefs of myself, who am King Kavishtask, and those of Kutmush, who is like a sister to me and who is my wife, and from whom about 30 sons and daughters are born to me, are to be killed, I will not forsake this holy Mazayasnian religion, since I have received it from a harmonist. Then King Vishtask sat on the summit of a hill. He had with him the strength of 12 times 12 myriad men. Arjas, the king of the Hyenas, sat on the summit of a hill. His strength was 12 myriad myriads. Then the brave general, that powerful Zarir, fought the battle as hard as the angel Tarfire, which, when it falls in a mountainous district and when also the wind pelts him, works destruction. When he drew his sword forward he slew 10 hyenas, and when he withdrew it 11 hyenas. When he got hungry or thirsty he saw the blood of the hyenas and was satiated. Then Arjas, the king of the hyenas, saw from the summit of the hill, and said, who is there among you hyenas who would go and fight with Zarir and would kill him, the brave general, strong Zarir? So that I would give him for wife my daughter Zarston, than whom there is no woman more beautiful in the whole country of the hyenas. I will make him the master of the whole country of the hyenas, because if Zarir were to remain alive up to night then it would not be long when not anybody out of us hyenas would remain alive. Then the magician Bairoch got up on his feet, and said, get a horse saddled for me so that I may go. They saddled the horse, and the magician Bairoch rode upon it. He took that weapon which was operated upon with magic in the hell by the demons through anger, and which was impregnated with the poison of the water of sin. He held it on in his hand and rushed into the battle and saw how bravely Zarir was fighting. He could not go before him in the front. He quietly came running from behind and struck the weapon upon the back of Zarir below his waist girdle and above his sacred thread and pierced it in his heart and threw him down upon the ground, and then the movement of foes and the din of brave men subsided. Then King Vishtask saw from the top of the hill, and said, I think on good grounds that they have killed our Zarir, the general of Iran, because the movement of foes and the din of brave men do not come to us now. 7. Who is there among you Iranians who would go and ask for revenge for Zarir so that I may give him in marriage Taihamak, who is my daughter, a more beautiful woman than whom there is none in the whole country of Iran? I will give him a residence in the mansion of Zarir and command-in-chief of Iran. No good and great man gave reply except that son of Zarir, a boy about 7 years ago. He got up on his feet and said, order a horse to be saddled for me so that I may go and see the war of Iran, and see the family chief of Vishtask, and whether that brave general, powerful Zarir, my father, is living or dead. I will tell your majesty how matters stand. Then King Vishtask said, you do not go because you are still a child, and you do not know how to act with caution in war, and your fingers are not rubbed with arrows. Perhaps the hyenas would come and kill you because they have killed Zarir also. Then the hyenas will take the credit of 2 names that we have killed Zarir, the commander-in-chief of Iran, and we have killed his son Bastard. Afterward Bastard secretly said to the master of the horse, Vishtask has ordered, give to Bastard that horse on which sat Zarir, when he was a boy. The master of the horse ordered the horse to be saddled, and Bastard sat over it, and he let go the horse and killed the enemy until he reached that place where he saw his brave father dead. He did not wait long, and said, oh, increaser of the delight of my soul, why are you silent? Oh, brave man, decorated with precious amulets, why silent? Oh, why is thy fast horse silent? When this was your wish that I may be allowed to fight with the hyenas, how is it that you have fallen dead in our war like a man without a place or corner? The winds have soiled your crown, hair, and beard. The horses have crushed your clean body with their feet. The dust has covered your garment. But now what am I to do? Because if I were to alight from the horse and if I were to hold yours, my father's head, into my sides, and if I were to remove the dust from thy garment, and then if I could not get up again on my horse expeditiously, then perhaps the hyenas might come and kill me also as they killed you. Then they will take the credit of 2 names that we have killed Zarir, the commander-in-chief of Iran, and we have killed Bastard who is his son. 8. Afterward Bastard let go his horse and killed the enemy until he came before King Vishtask, and said, I had gone and I had seen well the battle fought by Iran and the officers of Vishtask. I saw dead the brave general, powerful Zarir, who is my father. But if it please your majesty, let me go so that I may go and ask revenge for my father. Then Jamas Baltash said, let the speaker go because he rests upon his luck and he will kill the enemy. At last King Vishtask ordered the horse to be saddled, and Bastard sat over it. He the king gave him an arrow from his quiver and blessed him and said, take this quiver from me and go. May your every art of war be victorious. May you gain victory in all offensive and defensive battles. In return may you bring glory. For all days fetch your enemies dead. And now you command the horse and the banner of these our soldiers of Iran and Aran, and always live long as a leader. Then Bastard let his horse go and killed the enemy and fought the battle as bravely as Zarir, the commander-in-chief of Iran. At last Arjas, the king of the hyenas, saw from the summit of the hill, and said, who is he? Who is that brave Hyanian fellow there, who has a horse like that of a warrior and who keeps his saddle like a warrior and who fights as bravely as Zarir, the commander-in-chief of Iran? However, I think thus that he, of the lineage of Vishtask, desires to take vengeance for Zarir. Who is there among you hyenas who will go and fight with that fellow and kill him? I will give to him in marriage Bashassin, my daughter, than whom there is no woman more beautiful in the whole country of Hyena. And I will make him the master of the whole country of Hyena, because if the fellow would remain alive until night then it would not be long when out of us hyenas nobody would remain alive. Then Vidrich, the magician, got up on his feet and he said, "Get a horse saddled for me so that I may go." They saddled the iron-hoofed horse, which was the horse of Zarir, and Vidrich, the magician, rode upon it. He took that weapon which was operated upon with magic in the hell by the demons through anger and which was impregnated with the poison of the water of sin. He held it on in his hand and rushed into the battle, and saw how bravely Bastor was fighting. He could not go to him in the front, so quietly went forward from behind. Bastor cast a glance and said, "Oh, wicked magician. Come in front of my humble self, because I think that I do not know how to make my horse run fast under my flies, and I think that I do not know well to throw the arrow from the quiver. So come forward in the front of my humble self so that I may destroy thy sweet life as you did that of my father, the brave General Zarir." And Vidrich, the magician, presumptuously proceeded farther and went forward before Bastor, and that black iron-hoofed horse of Zarir, when he heard the loud voice of Bastor, struck his 4 feet on the ground and raised 999 cries. And Vidrich drew his weapon and Bastor took it away in his hand. Then the soul of Zarir shouted, "Throw away the weapon from your hand and take an arrow from your quiver and give reply to the wicked man with that." And Bastor threw away the weapon from his hand, and he took an arrow from his quiver and shot it at Vidrich at his heart, and it passed through his back and threw him upon the ground. And he killed him. He took away from him that white boot covered with pearls and gold which Zarir kept together with him. He sat upon the horse of Zarir and held the bridle of his own horse in his hand, and then he let his horse go forward and killed the enemy till he came to that place where Jaramakard, the son of Jamast, had held the victorious banner in his teeth and fought with both his hands. Jaramakard and that great Iranian army, when they saw Bastor, all mourned for Zarir, and said, "Oh, young helper. Why have you come to fight when you have not yet sufficiently rubbed your fingers with arrows, and when you still do not know the ways of caution to be observed in war? Perhaps the Kalimas may come and kill you as they have also killed Zarir. Then they will take the credit of 2 names that we have killed Zarir, the commander-in-chief, and we have killed Bastor his son." Then Bastor said, "O Jaramakard, son of Jamast, you carry victoriously this victorious banner. If I will go live before King Vishtast, I will tell him how bravely you have fought." Then Bastor rode forward and killed the enemy until he came to that place where the brave hero Spendadad was. When Spendadad saw Bastor, he left the large Iranian army with Bastor and himself went over the top of the hill and made an attack upon Arjas with his 12 myriad soldiers and drove them down from the top of the hill to the plain below, and Spendadad thrust the work of further attack upon Jaramakard. Jaramakard carried an assault upon them and thrust the work upon Bastor. The enemy were driven from place to place and killed. Thereupon it was not long before there was not left any person alive among them, except that one, Arjas, the king of the Kinas. The hero Spendadad caught him also. He cut one of his hands, one leg, one ear, and burned one of his eyes with fire and sent him off back to his country on an ass whose tail was cut. He said, "Go and tell what you have seen from the hero Spendadad's hand. Otherwise how can the Kinas know what has happened on the day of Farvardin, in the constellation of the dragon, in the war of Vishtast?"